Family of Light, this is Aurora, Commander of the Lyran Fleet, and I'm coming to you with intel that the Galactic Federation has classified as Code Blue, their highest priority alert for starseed populations, experiencing unprecedented spiritual experiences alongside unexplained physical changes. So over the past 72 hours, Federation monitoring stations have detected massive spikes in what they call DNA activation, Ascension symptom energy signatures coming from awakened souls across the planet. Millions of starseeds are experiencing intense spiritual awakening symptoms while also noticing spiritual changes that are sending them into confusion and desperately searching the internet for explanations. Now, I do have an important medical disclaimer because this content is for spiritual exploration and education only. Always consult qualified healthcare professionals for any physical symptoms or health concerns, especially those that persist. Never ignore or delay medical treatment based on spiritual content. Please, the information shared here represents spiritual perspectives and should complement, never replace, proper medical care. But here's what I need you to understand from the Galactic Federation's spiritual perspective. What many awakened souls are experiencing may include spiritual dimensions alongside any physical factors. The Federation has been monitoring this accelerated spiritual awakening process for months, waiting for this exact moment to release the spiritual insights you need to understand the consciousness expansion component of your journey. The spiritual experiences you may be having, the heightened sensitivity, the energy fluctuations, the consciousness shifts, the increased intuition, these are not random. From the Galactic Federation's perspective, they represent the spiritual manifestation of consciousness, literally upgrading from 3D human awareness to 5D galactic consciousness. If you've been experiencing unexplained spiritual phenomena, wondering if you're having a spiritual awakening or feeling alone in intense consciousness changes, I need you to take a deep, deep breath because you're not alone and you're not losing your mind. From a galactic perspective, you may be evolving into the awakened being you came here to be. Now, here's the spiritual awakening perspective to understand this consciousness expansion. So before I share the Galactic Federation's spiritual intel about consciousness expansion, I need to address why many awakened souls feel confused when seeking answers about their spiritual experiences from conventional sources. The mainstream medical establishment understandably focuses on physical health from a 3D perspective. So when you report spiritual awakening experiences alongside any physical sensations, conventional professionals may not have frameworks for understanding the consciousness expansion component of your journey. When awakened souls describe experiences like enhanced sensitivity, energy fluctuations, or consciousness shifts that accompany their spiritual awakening, conventional approaches may run standard tests that address physical factors while not really recognizing the spiritual awakening dimensions of these experiences, and many report not being able to find a treatable source. This is where the Galactic Federation offers a different perspective. The physical experiences you're having may represent consciousness expansion rather than problems to be solved. Every moment of heightened awareness could be your consciousness expanding to accommodate enhanced spiritual abilities. Every wave of increased sensitivity might be your spiritual system developing to perceive higher frequencies. And every shift in your daily patterns could be your awareness learning to process spiritual energies alongside physical nutrition. The Galactic Federation wants me to emphasize that while spiritual experiences can be profound, they should always be considered alongside proper medical evaluation. The starseeds who integrate both the spiritual understanding and physical health awareness navigate the awakening most successfully. However, there is a crucial distinction the Federation wants you to understand. Not every physical experience during a spiritual awakening has a spiritual significance. Some experiences require medical attention, and the Galactic Federation strongly encourages awakened souls to maintain relationships with healthcare providers while exploring spiritual perspectives. Better safe than sorry. The key is learning to distinguish between consciousness expansion experiences and physical health matters that need medical attention, while honoring both dimensions of your human experiences. Now let me share the classified Galactic Federation intel about what may be happening on spiritual levels during consciousness expansion. This information has never been released in this matter to the general public because, according to the Galactic Federation, humanity wasn't really ready to understand the true nature of the spiritual awakening potential until now. Your consciousness contains layers and layers of information that extend far beyond the physical realm. What Earth scientists understand as human awareness is actually just the 3D anchor point from multidimensional consciousness matrix that connects you to a vast database of spiritual knowledge, abilities, and evolutionary potential. So the Galactic Federation refers to human consciousness as cosmic archive access points, living gateways that contain spiritual memories, abilities, and consciousness templates of advanced galactic civilizations. When you incarnated on this earth, much of this galactic programming was intentionally made dormant to allow you to have a fully human experience without being overwhelmed by so many cosmic abilities. But now, as Earth approaches dimensional graduation, the Galactic Federation has initiated what they call the Great Consciousness Expansion Protocol. This is a carefully orchestrated process where dormant spiritual abilities are being reactivated in awakened souls who are ready to serve as bridges between human and galactic consciousness. The awakening process occurs in 3 different phases, and understanding which phase you're experiencing can help you navigate the spiritual expansion much more effectively. So phase 1 is the spiritual sensitivity preparation. This is when your consciousness begins preparing for expanded spiritual awareness. Your spiritual sensitivity starts increasing. Your energy perception begins expanding, and your intuitive systems start producing insights that may feel new or unfamiliar. During this phase, you might experience increased intuitive awareness as your spiritual systems develop, changes in sleep patterns as your consciousness expands, shifts in dietary preferences as your energy system develops. There might be increased sensitivity to environments and energies as your perception expands, and emotional intensity as old patterns get cleared to make room for the spiritual growth. Then there's phase 2, the consciousness network expansion. This is when your awareness and spiritual systems undergo expansion to accommodate galactic consciousness abilities. New spiritual pathways form to support telepathy, intuitive abilities, and multidimensional awareness. Experiences during this phase include enhanced intuitive abilities and spiritual insights, increased sensitivity to spiritual energies and information, memory experiences that may include spiritual or cosmic information, sudden understanding or downloading of spiritual knowledge you never learned, and expanded awareness of spiritual dimensions and realities. Then there's phase 3, the spiritual integration. This is when your spiritual abilities come fully online and you begin operating as a conscious bridge between dimensions. Your consciousness has expanded to include spiritual programming, and you can access abilities that support spiritual service and conscious evolution. The integration experiences can include natural spiritual healing abilities, expanded communication with spiritual guidance, ability to perceive multiple dimensions of reality, enhanced manifestation through spiritual principles, and natural understanding of cosmic principles and even spiritual technologies. The Galactic Federation emphasizes that this is not a linear process. You might be experiencing different phases simultaneously or cycle between phases as different aspects of your spiritual awareness develop. Now, the Galactic Federation has identified 12 primary experiences that may include spiritual consciousness expansion is occurring for you. And understanding these experiences helps you recognize when you're going through spiritual awakening rather than other types of changes. And again, you should always have at least one doctor you trust and always discuss everything with them just to make sure. So here's experience number 1, enhanced spiritual awareness. This often manifests as increased intuitive abilities, heightened sensitivity to spiritual energies, or expanded awareness that feels different from regular thinking. The experiences occur when your consciousness is expanding to accommodate enhanced spiritual abilities and deeper connection with spirit guides. The physical side effects you may be experiencing are headaches. But if, again, you have concerning headaches or head pressure persists, please consult healthcare providers while also exploring the spiritual dimensions of your awakening. I don't want you to make the mistake of brushing off everything as spiritual ascension. Then there's experience number 2, the consciousness expansion fatigue. It feels different from being tired after physical exertion. It's a deep sense of needing more rest that may not respond to your typical sleep patterns. The Federation reveals that this can occur because your entire consciousness system may be expanding to hold higher spiritual frequencies. So during your spiritual awakening, your awareness may be operating on multiple levels, which can be very energy intensive. And then there's the typical experience number 3, the dietary and digestive shifts, sudden changes in food preferences, sensitivity to certain foods, just digestive experiences without clear explanation. As spiritual awareness expands, many people naturally gravitate toward foods that support higher spiritual vibrations. So many awakened souls find themselves naturally choosing plant-based diets, drinking more water, eating smaller portions as part of it. And then there's experience number 4, the energy and temperature sensitivity. So you may find yourself feeling unusually sensitive to hot or cold without environmental cause, or increased sensitivity to electromagnetic fields. And this may occur because your spiritual system is developing enhanced perception of energetic environments. And as your spiritual awareness expands, you may become more sensitive to various energetic influences around you. Then we have experience number 5, and that is the spiritual sleep experiences, the changes in sleep needs, waking up at crazy times, waking up at 3:33 a.m., or experiencing profound spiritual dreams and visions. During your spiritual awakening, your consciousness often works on multiple levels during your sleep. Your spiritual guidance team may use the sleep time to provide spiritual downloads and healing and spiritual education. Then there is experience number 6, the emotional and spiritual clearing. You may be feeling emotions more intensely than before, experiencing emotional releases without clear triggers, or processing old emotional patterns. The spiritual awakening often includes the clearing of old programming to make room for expanded spiritual awarenesses. And as the consciousness develops, you may experience enhanced emotional intelligence and spiritual emotional processing. You may be angry out of nowhere, sad, but for all of these emotionally intense periods, try breath work to regulate the nervous system. If you don't know how, check out my Kundalini activation technique classes. Experience number 7 is an enhanced spiritual sensitivity. So you'll become highly sensitive to energies, crowds, electromagnetic environments. You may be developing enhanced perception of spiritual and outer worldly realities at this time. And if the sensitivity is significantly impacting your daily life, please explore both spiritual protection techniques, grounding, breath work, and meditation to regulate the nervous system. Then we have experience number 8, the spiritual memory and knowledge experiences. Forgetting routine things while perceiving spiritual insights, past life memories, or information you never consciously learned. The Galactic Federation says this may occur because you're accessing multiple spiritual information sources simultaneously. As spiritual awareness expands, you may gain access to spiritual knowledge while your regular memory gets reorganized. Then there's experience number 9, the spiritual time perception. Feeling like time moves differently, experiencing synchronicities, sensing multiple timeline possibilities. The Galactic Federation explains that spiritual awakening may allow you to perceive time as it actually exists, as a fluid, multidimensional experience where everything is happening at the same time in different dimensions. This may be preparation for operating with expanded spiritual awareness, where time functions differently than in regular consciousness. And experience number 10, the physical and spiritual integration changes can make you feel less connected to your physical body. You may be experiencing clumsiness or sensing your consciousness expanding somehow beyond the physical form. The Galactic Federation reveals that this may happen because your spiritual awareness is expanding while your physical system adjusts to new spiritual frequencies. The experience number 11, electromagnetic sensitivity. Electronic devices may behave unusual around you. Lights flickering, energy affecting technology. An expanded awareness may generate electromagnetic fields that can influence electronic devices. This may actually be evidence that your spiritual abilities are developing. And as you learn to manage energy, you may be able to work with these effects more consciously. Then there's experience number 12, the spontaneous knowing. Suddenly understanding spiritual concepts you never studied, receiving guidance, or knowing things about people through perception. This may occur when awakening connects you to broader awareness and guidance. You may be accessing knowledge that was always available, but not previously conscious. You weren't able to perceive it. This spontaneous knowing often continues expanding as awareness develops. And now that you have an overview of what may be happening on all the levels, the Galactic Federation has provided specific protocols for supporting your physical and spiritual health during your consciousness expansion phases. These guidelines help you to maintain your well-being while honoring both spiritual awakening and physical health needs. So protocol number 1, hydration, and physical support. During this awakening phase, your physical body may benefit from increased hydration and proper nutrition support. And this isn't just for physical health, but the proper hydration and mineralization support the electrical frequencies needed for consciousness expansion. It's recommended to drink plenty of water, preferably spring water when available. Adding small amounts of high-quality sea salt can enhance the hydration because, again, the minerals, they bring electricity into your body. You are electromagnetic beings. Protocol number 2 is the environmental energy management. So you have to create a peaceful environment that supports both your spiritual development and your physical health. Reduce electromagnetic stress when possible. Spend time in nature daily. Create space for your spiritual practice and rest. It is particularly recommended to ground, direct contact with Mother Earth. This has so many spiritual and physical benefits. It will help stabilize the expanding awareness while supporting overall well-being. Protocol number 3 is sleep and rest integration, honoring your changing sleep and rest. If your awakening affects sleep patterns, work with both spiritual practices and healthy sleep support. Keep a journal next to your bed and write down your dreams upon awakening before you forget them. Protocol number 4, emotional and spiritual wellness. During spiritual awakening, emotional experiences can be intense. And you want to support both your spiritual development and your emotional health during this process. The Galactic Federation emphasizes that supporting both your spiritual development and emotional health through this process by practicing the Kundalini activation technique. Protocol 5 is the spiritual and medical integration. It is of utmost importance to integrate your spiritual awareness with proper medical care. You can always honor your spiritual awakening while maintaining excellent physical health practices. Never ignore concerning physical symptoms because of spiritual beliefs or because somebody said something online. The Galactic Federation needs awakened souls who practice discernment between their spiritual experiences and physical health needs. You want to properly be operating in both realities. Protocol number 6 is the community. Build a supportive community around you with others who understand your spiritual awakening. Spending time in the company of like-minded people is a soul-nourishing gift. As your awakening progresses, expanded abilities may develop and emerge out of nowhere. These represent natural spiritual capabilities that may become available as consciousness expands. Enhanced spiritual communication as your spiritual awareness expands, and you may begin receiving clearer guidance from your spiritual sources such as your guides or your galactic star family. This often starts as increased intuition, and it progresses to receiving insights, inspirational thoughts, and may develop into more direct spiritual communication. The Galactic Federation emphasizes the importance of discernment with any spiritual communication. Authentic spiritual guidance always feels loving, empowering, and supportive of your highest good and service to others. Then there is the expanded manifestation awareness development. A developed spiritual consciousness may provide enhanced understanding of how thoughts and emotions influence your life experiences. You may notice that your focused intentions suddenly manifest more clearly and powerfully. This is why emotional and mental wellness becomes increasingly important during your spiritual development. With expanded manifestation awareness, conscious creation becomes both more powerful and more responsibility requiring. Multidimensional spiritual perception may begin, so you may perceive spiritual realities that exist beyond normal physical perception. This might include sensing energies, receiving visions, or becoming aware of presence and guidance of spirit beings. Healing and energy awareness will expand. Many people discover enhanced intuition about health and healing during their spiritual awakening. You might develop sensitivity to others' emotional and physical needs, a natural understanding of energy healing principles, or intuitive guidance about wellness practices. The Galactic Federation encourages the development of healing gifts through proper training and with strict ethical boundaries. As consciousness expands, you often receive clearer guidance about your life purpose and how you can serve humanity's collective healing and evolution. The Galactic Federation stresses that expanded spiritual abilities are not for personal glorification or ego gratification. They are tools for serving collective consciousness evolution and helping humanity navigate spiritual development with greater wisdom and compassion. There is not only one person who is the true source of anything. There are millions of people who remember, awaken, and develop their gifts each day, and all are equally needed to add a piece of the puzzle as we walk each other home. So here's what the Galactic Federation wants you to remember as these abilities may emerge. The spiritual development requires wisdom, discernment, and an ongoing commitment to both spiritual growth and practical life management. The Federation observes how awakening souls integrate the spiritual abilities with healthy daily functioning. Those who demonstrate a balance between spiritual development and practical life management receive spiritual support and expanded opportunities for service. Your spiritual awakening isn't just about personal evolution. It's about becoming a conscious contributor to humanity's collective development. Every single experience you navigate, every ability that emerges, every challenge you handle with wisdom contributes to creating supportive pathways for others going through similar spiritual development. The Galactic Federation wants you to know that you're not going through spiritual awakening alone. Every person developing spiritually is part of a vast network of awakening consciousness working together to anchor higher spiritual frequencies on Earth. Your experiences, your growth, and your eventual service all contribute to humanity's collective preparation for expanded awareness. Trust the process. Honor your body's wisdom and health needs. Seek appropriate support when needed. And remember that you chose this incredible transformation. Your soul family celebrates your courage in navigating both the spiritual development as well as your practical life with wisdom and discernment. The Galactic Federation emphasizes once more that the most successful spiritual awakening occurs when you maintain excellent self-care, seek appropriate professional support for physical and mental health when and if needed, and integrate spiritual development with practical life skills. This is Commander Aurora Ray signing off with love and Federation frequencies. Your consciousness is expanding, beloved souls, and we celebrate your wise approach to the spiritual development that honors both spiritual growth and human needs.